Hi, this is Sandy. I'm here with Brett again. How are you, Brett?
Yeah, pretty good. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a busy day working on a bank holiday. So,
You're not supposed to do that.
I know. Yeah, I got Friday off.
That's
So,
nice.
so yeah, there's in the UK we have a Good Friday, and then we have a bank holiday Monday as well,
Mm, mm,
Easter Monday. So
Yeah,
they are,
here we're heathens, I guess, so we work
yeah,
all the time.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, first real holiday of the year apart from New Year's Day. So yeah,
Uh,
it's kind of a nice one. You
mm,
feel like you deserve this one by the time it
yeah,
comes.
I'll say. Yeah.
But and then we have in May a couple of holidays as well. So
Mm,
yeah, spring break holiday and May Day. So it's all
mm,
good.
nice.
Yep. So yeah, it's I guess we're well into April
Right.
already,
Yep.
and we've got a new product obviously to
Mm,
be launching, which is
mm,
a new release of the Lightning Forms Modern.
mm,
So yeah, this is a pretty exciting release. I think
mm,
it's a really exciting product. Yeah, we've had the classic form support, and we've created the modern version, which we talked
mm,
about a lot last week, and
right.
capabilities of that. So yeah, all about adding logic and improved layouts to your modern form, so they retain that sort of responsive design and everything. But
Mm,
yeah, we've got some new features to add to that list, and it's not released as we're recording right now, but hopefully, by the end of week two, we
mm,
should have
mm,
a build that you can
mm,
download and so on. So we're just doing a little
mm,
bit of polishing on the
right.
testing and everything. But yeah, so what's I mean, let's talk about some of the new things.
Yep.
What's up for you?
Well, I think the biggest thing and the thing that people have asked for a lot is the formatting capabilities. So, I mean, you have always gotten general formatting capabilities in terms of where you can put fields as far as laying them out in columns or tabs or different ways like that. But this is formatting in the sense of fonts and colors and backgrounds and highlights and things like that that you can apply to your form in general or to specific controls. So you might have things appear in one color in one tab and different colors in another tab, or certain fields, highlighted in red or something like that, and even add conditional formatting. So, and that's been a big request. If somebody fills out a field in one way that you want something else to turn red or highlight or make it bold or something, so that they see that they've got to do this now.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a nice value add.
Mm,
I don't know whether a demo goes by where that's not a question.
right,
Can,
exactly.
can we do the styling? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think it's gone beyond my expectations of what you might want to do with styling. I mean, you often think of just, changing some fore colors and background colors and things like that, but it's very
Mm-hmm.
granular, the different controls
Mm,
that you can do,
mm-hmm.
and really nicely built in as well. It doesn't look,
Right.
horrible like some styling does, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you could talk about conditional formatting, and I don't know, I build up this mental image of a bright green background,
Mm.
but on what was a lovely looking form. But no, it's I think it's really well done,
Mhm,
and suits the modern look and feel of SharePoint Online now. So yeah,
mhm, yeah, and we'll be having a whole article just on that, on the new styling, because it is so deep and full featured, just to explain all the different features and options that you have.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like you say, being able to do that conditionally as well, because yeah, you look at some of these forms that our customers are designing, and you're not just talking about a task list or something like that, where there's a lot of fields. Some of them sort of
Mhm,
50 to
yeah,
100 fields sometimes, that you're creating, and when you're an end user filling out that form, um, yeah, the validation controls are not always obvious. You want it to really jump out at you, and of course, one of the things that we offer is tabs on that layout. So if that field that you didn't fill out appropriately is behind one of those tabs, you're obviously not going to see it. So
mm,
yeah, this even extends to highlighting that tab. So
Mhm.
you could highlight the tab in red or green if you prefer, and you can go into that tab and then see which field has the validation
Mhm.
right there. And that field, the control itself, can also be can be changed as well
Mm.
as styling. So
Mhm.
yeah, you can make it really obvious,
Yep.
and that will really bring a lot to the table, I think, with the
Yep.
forms.
Definitely. Yeah, because you can't. I mean, I guess there is some conditional formatting in the built-in SharePoint form editor, but as again, that's JSON for the most part, and for the form formatting, and this will be completely UI driven, and what you see is what you get, as you said before. And
Yeah,
yeah, I can't wait. And plus, so much more granular. Yeah, that you can access these options on every single field and every part of the form.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Mm,
I think that's looking really good. So
mm,
one thing, this is quite a subtle new feature, but I really like it. Is we had this in the classic forms. I really like the fact that no matter how well you sort of designed a form, there's often an afterthought about, oh, I need another field to, or
mm,
another column to be able to show a temporary value or whatever it might be. um, or even show a total coming from your sublist, or
mm,
something like that that you didn't consider.
mm,
And with the classic one, you could basically just go through and add that on the form without having to save and close your form design, go back to
mm,
the list settings and
mm,
add your new column and then back into the form design again. Yeah, that really sort of interrupts your flow. So that's back in the mod
mm.
one. You can
Yeah,
just
that's
simply
awesome.
go through and add a new control. So you
Mhm,
can see all the columns that you've already got inside that list and drag and drop those over. And one of the things I like doing about that actually is rather than dragging and dropping a lot, is actually you can just go through and remove them all and then add them in the sequence that you want
mm,
them to be added
mhm,
in under the different tabs. And yeah, when you do come across the fact that, oh yeah, there wasn't a control that I needed, you can go through and just simply create it.
mhm.
So yeah, that's
Very
a
cool.
really handy feature to welcome back to Lightning
Yep.
Forms.
Yep. Yep.
And
We're supporting a couple new field types too that hadn't been
yeah,
before, like an image field type to show in sort of a light, would you call that a light box style, where it kind of opens up separately. So that, and also enterprise keywords, that's another one that's been requested to, specifically support that type of control. So some new things along those lines.
yeah, yeah, that's good, and it's often frustrating when you do have these columns in a list and you can't do
Mm,
anything with them on the form. So
mm,
so yeah,
mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm.
it's great to be able to see those coming back.
Mm. And the kind of similarly, I guess, would be the built-in read-only fields. That's been a request, and that was in the classic forms as well. That you could, on the display and edit forms, that you could display who it was created by, when it was originally created, the item ID. A lot of people have a use for that because they're using that in their numbering systems, for example. So now you can add those to your display and edit forms as well. You
Yeah,
obviously can't to the new form because they haven't been created yet, but
yeah, there's a lot of those fields available.
hmm
It's
hmm
and I think the Lightning Conductor highlights a lot of those as well. When you go
hmm
to add a new column to your aggregated view, you can see so much
hmm
information that's actually available to a list. So
hmm
yeah, that's really useful information to see, and
hmm
especially in a business form. So yeah, it's not just metadata about a document or a list item. It's actually useful information sometimes as to who was the person who created this form originally
yep.
and last modified it and things like that.
hmm
So
hmm
being able to see that when you read a form
hmm
would be very valuable.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, because it's not always just on the view itself with
hmm
inside the list that you want to see that information.
Right, right.
So excellent. That all sounds good.
hmm
And still talking columns.
hmm
Yeah, there's issues with things like threshold limits in views that
hmm
are now overcome with cascading lookups.
hmm hmm
So what was the problem there? What are we overcoming with that?
Uh, well, just that there is that view threshold, and so yeah, you would get an error message, if you didn't have maybe if you didn't have that indexed or something like that when you're trying to use that in a lookup. But now, yeah, you can filter the lookups for one thing, and that that also then does not give you an error when you try and do that.
Yeah, and filter lookups are, they're a great feature as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's something that a lot of our customers like to see,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and uh, and yeah, just being able to um, filter it. One example that I always give is just having different departments that belong to different locations within inside a business. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to see duplications, of course. So you may
Mm-hmm.
have a sales department in New York and a sales department in London or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So using a choice field, if you selected London, the cascading lookup would then effectively be filtered based on the previous value
Mm-hmm.
on the form, and you can pass that through, filter on that column, and just see the departments in the London location. And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it doesn't just get rid of the duplications, but it does bring down that choice to a more manageable level for the end user
Mm-hmm.
that's completing the forms.
Right. Yeah, I've seen it used both ways, really. Yeah, depending on how people have their lists and columns set up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that makes a great deal of sense.
Mm,
And the other thing to talk about here is not really with inside the form itself, but the view actions as well.
mm,
So this is something that's going to give you the ability to create an action button similar to what you do on the command bar inside the form,
mm,
but being able to do that at the view level, so you can
mm,
select items, multiple items in the view, and then perform an action on those multiple selected
mm,
items.
mm,
So yeah, if you think of the sort of approval and things like that, I know, of course, we can do that sort of thing using Flow,
mm,
but sometimes you just want something a little bit quicker and easier that doesn't necessarily need to be a workflow. If it is
mm,
just a case of setting a form field value on everything that I just selected to approved,
mm,
then that sort of thing,
mm,
um, being able to bulk uh, perform those actions is really
mhm,
good. So,
mm. Okay.
so yeah, kind of excited to roll that one out as well.
I think I missed that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'll have to read closer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, in fact, probably would have been listed under a different product. So it's going to be a sort
Uh,
of side product to Lightning Forms.
uh-huh, uh-huh, that
So,
one. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You got it. So fantastic. And I
Yeah,
think
so lots to
I've
look
exhausted
forward
my
to.
list, but
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, as of this week, we're working on documentation. We're finalizing testing, and we've got a webinar scheduled already, which I forget the date on that one, but
22nd, I believe.
okay. So 22nd of April, we'll be
Mhm.
doing a live demo of Lightning Forms, and
Mhm.
yeah, if anybody is interested in a custom story, if you've used Lightning Forms, we've had some custom stories in the past. We don't always have to mention the company name if that
Right.
causes issues for you. We can just talk about the industry sector.
Mm.
But yeah, if you have a real world experience of using Lightning Forms and you want to be able to either come on this Lightning chat and talk about it, or provide a few paragraphs as to how you've used it, that would be
Mm.
also very welcome
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, that would be great. Because I mean, I get to see a lot of people's forms when I'm helping with technical support issues and things, and it really is interesting to see the kinds of things that people are doing with Lightning Forms with customizing their list forms. So, yeah, that would be great to be able to share some of that with
Yeah,
others. Mhm.
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Mm. Mm.
Well, cool. I'm really looking forward to this build, and
Yep,
hope
me too.
everybody else is too. Yeah, and yeah, I guess that's a wrap. Next
Okay.
week we'll be able to talk more about somebody in the industry that's used it.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Sounds good.
all
All
right.
right.
Well, take care.
Thanks. I'll see you later.
Thanks.
Bye.